Hey guys, welcome back to Superior Sceptile. If you looked at the title of this video, you probably know what's going on by now. If you haven't seen the previous episodes of Fakemon Creation, I recommend you go do that so you know what's going on. I explain very well in those videos. But if you do know what's happening, continue. So today I started my Fakemon by thinking, you know what, let's shuffle things, let's switch things up. So I decided we were going to make a legendary Pokemon. When I start writing out the type, it really doesn't matter in the end because it didn't even end up being rock type in the end, and apparently that's what I first typed it as. So I decided it would be a golem Pokemon. There was no specific criteria or basis, I just started drawing of whatever was on the top of my head. I decided I'd give it a mask, and I gave it an irregular shape, to say the least, gave it some mask-like features, and then started experimenting with the body. I added some legs just to start off with and seeing what I can do. I added a vest thing. I honestly don't have an explanation for it. I then proceeded to mess up the arm, then go through the arm again and really like square fingers, because that was interesting. So I then proceeded to symmetrically add that to the other side, and I kind of liked the design, but it was looking a bit too smally, cartoony. So I decided to try and redesign it to a more custom standard. It's going to look similar, but not exact. So the mask now looks less robust and square, and I've changed a lot of the shape of it. With that, most of the features on the mask are still the same on the details, but the shape of the mask itself is quite different. Most of the design process is pretty similar, so I go through the vest, I do the body, I do the arms, I do the legs. It's pretty simple, so I'll just let you guys watch this part. And the design is done. So we're going over to the opposite side of the page to actually start designing. So I'm basically copying it, but I'm giving it a bit of angle. Well, at least I tried to give it some angle. But the Pokemon that I designed was really hard to draw at an angle, so I just decided I'd go with the flat-based look on. So like you're directly facing it frontward, no angles, no poses or anything. Because I didn't know what this Pokemon could be. I was a bit too busy thinking about lore while I was designing this to think about actually designing it. And I was thinking about how it could maybe be related to the Mewtwo project. And you'll see that in the Pokédex entry. That is my final design. So I quickly added the tail, and shaboom shabam, we have a Pokemon. I then spent the next 2 minutes after colouring looking for a pencil. At this point I'm looking for my textures, but then after I use my textures I don't want to use anything too vivid or basically anything texture. So I was looking for quite a while for a pencil. Couldn't find one, so I got a little bit angry and got back to colouring. I just decided I'll make the mask the same colour because there was no way I was going to find a pencil. Specifically not on camera, because I didn't want to stay away from the camera for 6 minutes and you just stare at a blank screen for a minute or so. So with that, we go to the satisfaction. When choosing out the colour schemes, I wanted it to seem robust. So I gave it blue eyes as a sense of power. I gave it steel-like attributes to give it steel-like strong attributes. And I decided I'd make it purple because I just like the colour purple. And I added pink. I don't know why I made this decision. I just figured we haven't really had any pink legendaries that people have seen as pretentiously strong or powerful. I mean, Mew exists, but like we haven't had any really strong ones other than the shinies. And with that, I fill out the Pokédex entry and all the information. So here's the final design, guys. Enotate, the Dragon Steel type, accidental destruction Pokemon. This Pokemon is said to be the long relative of Mew/Mewtwo. It is said to be a side project of Team Rocket's when the Mewtwo project had started. And that was my first attempt at designing a legendary Pokemon, Enotate. I think it went pretty well. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. Please leave a like and subscribe, it really helps out the channel. And remember to stay awesome. Bye!